Today's reading is all about the fresh new start that you are creating in your life. So we are going to be delving into what you are uprooting, what sort of old systems you are letting go of, as well as what sort of new opportunities you are going to be calling in as a result of this new beginning that you are creating. So if you are interested in all of that, then stay tuned until the end of the reading. But we have 3 piles to choose from in today's reading, and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. And this card represents pile number 3. If you already know exactly which pile is calling out to you, then you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are still a bit unsure, then a few of my recommendations would be to try and get yourself to a quiet space so that you wouldn't be distracted or disturbed by any noises. Also, you can close your eyes for a few seconds and take a few deep breaths just to get present in this current moment, and so that you could tune into your body and feel grounded. And when you look at the piles again, see what is pulling your attention. Is there a specific color? Is there a symbol? Is there a keyword? What is it that you feel drawn to specifically? Maybe it is a specific sensation that you feel inside your body. Maybe you hear something. Maybe the number of the pile resonates for you in a specific way. Trust your intuition and follow it. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And having said all of that, let's get straight to the reading. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so excited to do this reading for you, and I'm so grateful that you are here. So let's get into the cards. We have some pre-prepared oracle cards, which we are going to look at in just a bit, because first I want to see what I am picking up on this card that you chose intuitively. So you chose this introspection and ego card. And pile number 1, I am getting the energy of you being very focused on yourself at this time and going through a lot of your inner landscape, being very conscious of your thoughts, being very conscious of your feelings, taking charge of your life essentially, and getting yourself back into the driver's seat, whereas possibly previously you have been more so like a passenger, because I am getting a sense of having a lot of focus on other people or having a lot of focus on external situations. Maybe even things that don't have that much to do with you, but that you somehow either get pulled into or that you are just surrounded by. It feels like it's some sort of drama or problems or petty fights, conflicts, that type of thing. Or if it's just mundane stuff and like task management and things like that. For whatever reason, I'm feeling that a lot of these things are very much other people focused, and you are somehow involved in them, but not really by your own choice. And they don't really have that much to do with you, but for some reason, you are still in the middle of those things, or you get sucked into those things, and so you have to sort of deal with them. And that's what I feel has been going on for you, possibly for a while, or something that happened a lot for you. But now it seems like there is this shift in consciousness, there is this shift in what you notice, what you acknowledge, what you pay attention to. And it feels like there has been this click where you have started to see things much more clearly, where you have started to notice these patterns or these cycles that end up repeating, or these situations that you get pulled into over and over. And as a result of this consciousness that you have, you are starting to reevaluate your priorities. You are starting to reevaluate what you want to get involved in and what you don't want to get involved in, and making certain changes accordingly. But I feel like there is this focus on trying to understand what your role is in all of this external stuff that is happening, and trying to separate yourself and your own true feelings and your own thoughts and your own values and your own principles from everyone else's. Because again, there seems to be this muddle of energies where maybe previously you sort of took on other people's stuff without even realizing it. And some of these things that you got caught up in, maybe you were going through them, or maybe you were solving them on autopilot. And now you are getting to this point where you are rearranging these things, where you are letting go of these habits or these patterns and these like unconscious reactions. So yeah, there is this realizing of the self, or clearing up of the self and what your true role is. That's what seems to be the energy of you based on this card. But if you are not 100% sure that this is your reading, then stay tuned for the oracle card portion, because we are going to get a fuller picture, hopefully, with these oracle cards, which are going to describe what is the current situation that you are actually dealing with right now. We have the monkey. We have call your energy back to you. Energy, power, aura, depletion. We have sextant. That which is true will always be enough. Truth, honor, empress, integrity. And the swan. Okay, pile number one. There is a lot of confirmation of the things that were coming through in the intuitive part, which I don't know why I'm still surprised by, because it tends to happen in pretty much every single reading. But yeah, so the point is, I am not going to dwell too long on these cards, because it's kind of the same thing that we were talking about before, hopefully just a bit more organized. So basically, I am seeing a transformation of how you operate and how you express yourself in the world, especially as I'm looking at these two animal cards. We have the monkey and we have the swan, and it feels like you are going from the monkey to the swan, meaning that with the monkey, there is a lot of restlessness, there is a lot of activity, maybe even like hyperactivity, or just kind of running around from one thing to the next. And I'm also getting this notion of the monkey mind, where you may get so overwhelmed with the running thoughts in your head that it's very difficult to concentrate on any one single thing, or to even make sense of what the point of all of those thoughts are, or what you were trying to do, or where you were trying to arrive. It just feels kind of chaotic and all over the place. Whereas the swan is very elegant, very delicate, serene, peaceful, and much more slow moving and much more intentional with its movement and action. So it feels like a very interesting contrast between these two energies. And as I said, with the monkey, especially the monkey mind, that seems to be tied to the energy that you are moving away from now, or that you used to resonate with more, especially as we have this call your energy back to you card, where you could have been depleting yourself as a result of running around and dealing with a lot of other people's stuff and trying to solve other people's problems, or trying to help them out, or which in and of itself is not a negative thing by any means. But if you get too caught up in other people's stuff, where you sort of lose sight of your own life and your own goals and your own dreams, that's when things can get a bit problematic. So this depletion that this card is talking about seems to be as a result of pouring out a lot of your energy in places that don't actually yield any rewards for you doing so, if that makes sense. So now we have this sextant card here too, which feels like it's talking about you refocusing your life or redirecting your life towards something that is much more aligned with your truth, with honoring your inner compass, honoring your deep emotional landscape, right? This is you tuning in. This is you going into that introspective mode and figuring out, again, what is yours, what isn't yours, What sort of emotions, beliefs, or mindsets have you adopted or have you gotten stuck in that maybe don't even resonate with you on a personal level? And so getting to a more quiet place, getting to a more undisturbed space, and distancing yourself from that outside drama or from these complicated situations and dynamics and relationships, and just taking some time for yourself to figure out who you are, what you want, where it is that you are going, and focusing your energy on that, on this graceful, intentional movement that is aligned with your heart and with your soul, like the Swan card here. That seems to be what you are focusing on. And there is also a lot of self-reflection with the Swan too. So that just seems to be more of a confirmation on that aspect. But as I said, this all feels very much confirming everything that we were talking about with the intuitive card. So let's move on to the tarot card portion now. So if you could resonate with this part, if it made sense to you, and you are now sure that this reading is about you, then stay tuned for these tarot card messages, because that's where this gets interesting. So we are going to first look at what it is that you are uprooting from your life. So what is it that has been a part of your life for a long time that you are now getting rid of or letting go of? Okay. We have some aces coming out. So the cards that you got are the Emperor, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Ace of Swords, with the Two of Wands in reverse coming out at the bottom of the deck. So to point out some of the zodiac signs, in case you resonate with them yourself or you recognize them around you, that could be important or tied to this situation that we are dealing with. With the Emperor, we have Aries energy. With the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands, actually, both of those are strong fire energy, especially with the Two of Wands, we have more Aries energy. So Aries is coming out the strongest here, but also Leo or Sagittarius could be significant to some degree. And with the Ace of Swords, we have air energy, which would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So pile number one. Based on these cards, especially the Emperor and the Ace of Wands in reverse, it feels like you are uprooting certain rigidness or rigidity that has had you turning down opportunities, or that has maybe even made you a bit blind to certain opportunities that have been around you as a result of having this very strict, very rigid, very limited or narrow way of seeing things. With the Emperor, this is being very set, being set in stone, being strict and regulated and very structured and organized, which isn't a bad thing, obviously, in and of itself. But if it goes to the extreme, you can lose sight of some new, expansive ways of doing things or trying certain new things even. And the reason also why this Emperor card is giving me sort of iffy vibes is because it feels like this rigidity or this closed-mindedness has been a result of someone else's ideas of how things should be. This feels like it has been like ingrained into you or rooted into you, possibly as a child even, possibly from like an authority figure, a parental figure, or just the sort of overall norms that used to be prevalent when you were growing up. Again, with the Ace of Swords here too, this is about very strict like truths or personal truths. Because of all of these cards that were here before this Ace of Swords, again, it feels like it's the sort of truths or beliefs that you are kind of holding on to, or that you have held on to. And possibly it's also talking about certain rationalizations or explanations or justifications for turning certain opportunities down that may have actually been really exciting for you or really good for you. And it seems to be tied to this Emperor energy. So again, I don't know, it just feels like you have been deeply programmed to believe certain things and to look away or to deny certain opportunities because of these beliefs that have been ingrained into you, but that, again, haven't really that aren't really your own personal beliefs, you know, that they seem to deviate from what you truly believe in or from your own personal truth. We also have this Two of Wands as the underlying energy, and this is telling me that what you are uprooting is staying stuck or not noticing certain possibilities for expansion or not daring to venture out of your comfort zone. So again, maybe I was a bit unclear as I was talking about these cards before, but we're looking at what you are uprooting. So all of this energy, this strict, rigid energy, right? This is what you are uprooting. This is what you are letting go of. And the other thing that I'm feeling here as well is that this Emperor energy could also be talking about someone else outside of you. If you have someone around you, some sort of authority figure, they don't have to be a father figure or a parental figure per se. They can also be a boss or a mentor or even an older sibling or someone that you potentially look up to, like a role model or someone who has a lot of sway and a lot of power or a lot of influence. This person seems to be someone who has potentially manipulated you or who has forced you to make certain choices or to let go of certain opportunities because of what they believe in or what they believe to be true and right. And this is, again, one of those things that you are uprooting if you have that sort of person in your life where you are not giving them that much power anymore, or where you're starting to discern more for yourself what it is that they are saying and what their sort of ultimate truth or this strict view of how things should be, what you actually think about it. You know, it feels like you're starting to question it more. It feels like you are starting to not take it as gospel anymore. Maybe previously that was the case. It doesn't seem to be the case anymore. And also, you know, making certain choices or making certain decisions based on what that other person wants for you or wants you to do, that seems to be also something that you are uprooting if that is resonating for you, if you have this person in your life and you recognize who this is. Now, let's look at what sort of new start you are creating for yourself. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. We still have the Two of Wands as the underlying energy. You're getting quite a lot of major arcana cards. We have the Empress, we have the Hermit, and we have the King of Cups coming out. So we have some Venusian energy with the Empress, which is the counterpart to the Emperor. And hence we have Libra and Taurus coming out very strongly. We also have Virgo with the Hermit, and we have Scorpio with the King of Cups. And again, Aries with the underlying energy here. So first off with the Empress, it feels like you are starting to create a lot more abundance and a lot more opportunity for yourself, because the Empress is very receptive and open and magnetic energy. It's very optimistic as well, and it has faith in itself and in the universe. It has faith that the universe is abundant and is able to provide everything that it needs, or she needs, I should say. And even though this is feminine energy, again, we are not talking about gender specifically. So regardless of whether you identify as a male or female, this is just that abundant, beautiful, nurturing energy. And so it seems like you are creating a life of possibility for yourself, and also, you know, nurturing things that bring you certain rewards that make you feel good about yourself and about what you are doing and where you are going, and opening your life up as a result of doing this introspection, which is all about this Hermit energy. So it's interesting that we are getting quite a lot of these messages of going within and reflecting and sort of doing the inner work. We get that here with the Hermit as well. So especially because the Hermit is talking about your own personal truth and sharing that light with the world, not being afraid to express it with others and show up as your real, true, authentic self. Boldly share everything that you have discovered within yourself. All of the wisdom all of the knowledge, all of the insights. And I also love that we are getting this King of Wands here, because it feels like you are actually challenging that Emperor energy here with this King of Cups, which is also very strong and resilient and masculine in energy, but it's much more in tune with its compassionate side, with its emotional side, that knows what it wants and is unapologetically in their own personal truth, you know, living life in alignment with their heart and standing by that, standing by those values. It also feels like you could be forging some new relationships or new connections, creating new beginnings in certain relationships as a result of opening up or broadening your mindset, broadening your horizons to either new people or new places, new opportunities. And I love that we are getting the same underlying energy as we got before, because it feels like this new beginning that you are creating is an answer to everything that has been keeping you stuck before. So this is you breaking out of that stagnation or feeling lost and feeling like you are in this constant loop of never-ending cycles. So this feels really beautiful. And also I love with the Hermit and the King of Cups, there seems to be an energy of being a lot more protective of your time and of your energy and all of the resources that you have with the Empress here. There seems to be this realization of everything that you have been giving away freely, you know, with you just being drained or not really getting that much in return for everything that you have invested. So there is this realization of your own innate power and worth. And with the Hermit and the King of Cups, there seems to be this protective barrier that you are creating, or where you start discerning a lot more deeply or scrutinizing the opportunities or the situations that you are being presented with, and really considering whether they are worth your energy, whether they are worth your time, and making choices accordingly. And with the King of Cups specifically, I'm also feeling a lot of self-belief or self-trust, and knowing that you are capable of making the right choices for yourself. So having this sense of confidence and self-assuredness. But as the last question, let's look at what sort of opportunities are going to be opening up for you as a result of you getting rid of the old and bringing in this new, fresh start. Okay. Interesting. We have the Chariot that came out in reverse first. We have the Nine of Cups and we have the Two of Cups. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it's interesting that all of the underlying cards have been number twos and that they have been in reverse, which in a sense feels like it's talking about not being like in between anymore, or not being indecisive, feeling a lot more sure of things, which is always a good thing. But we have the Chariot coming out in reverse. We have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups. So we have heavy water sign energy coming through now. We have Cancer, especially with the Chariot and the Two of Cups. And we have some Pisces with the Nine of Cups. And with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, we have Capricorn. So I actually want to start off with the underlying energy, because the Two of Pentacles in reverse is indicating that you are not going to be wasting time on things that ultimately lead nowhere, or that you don't really have any true interest or interest in or passion for. So this in essence is talking about you in the future, down the line, not wasting your time or not wasting your resources on meaningless or futile things, and getting your priorities much more aligned as well. Now, with the Chariot in reverse, especially with the Nine of Cups coming out right next to it, this feels like you are going to be making peace with the things that didn't work out, or that you feel like you have missed out on as a result of, you know, this narrow-minded focus or this rigidity in your views or beliefs and all of that we were talking about in the first section here. So there is this making peace aspect to these cards, with everything that hasn't worked out, or that everything that you feel you haven't achieved as a result of the way that things used to be before. But as we're talking about the opportunities that are going to be coming around, or the doors that are going to be opening for you, this seems to be talking about getting to a sense of accomplishment, or getting to a sense of fulfillment without necessarily overexerting yourself, or pushing too hard or too quick, or trying to reach certain milestones that don't really fulfill you in any true sense of the word. So instead of chasing after things that you feel that you should want, or that you have been taught to go after, you seem to be starting to focus more on, or even attracting, things that truly bring you a sense of fulfillment and truly bring you a sense of pride and accomplishment. Because the Nine of Cups is a true wish fulfillment sort of card. And the Chariot in reverse, which seems to indicate that there is some sort of path that is veering you off towards some sort of goal that isn't really fulfilling, or that you are being sort of diverted off your true path for some sort of false sense of glory, or any like promises that are not ultimately fulfilling. That's what seems to be tied to this Two of Pentacles. You are not going for those anymore, and you are not exerting your energy on those anymore. Because with the Two of Cups, this is talking about pulling in opportunities, situations, people, and things that ultimately are a match to you, are an energetic match, and hence they have the ability to bring you the most rewarding sense of fulfillment that you can experience. So this is being fully aligned and making the right choices for yourself that ultimately bring you a sense of wholeness, a sense of belonging, and a sense of freedom. So I love that that's what you are drawing in, that you are moving towards these emotionally fulfilling choices. And as I say that, there is also the energy of the Seven of Cups, which I somehow missed, but with the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups, in between these two cards, there is an energy of the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is talking about opportunities. It's talking about all of these choices, these potentialities that you have to choose from. Those seem to be bringing you a much bigger sense of fulfillment. So I love that that is what you are getting here. So very exciting stuff, pile number one. But anyway, let's move on to the last part of the reading, which is an oracle card as support from Spirit. So let's see what sort of final message Spirit has for you regarding this reading. Okay, interesting. Whoa, we get two cards. So, okay. The first card that you have is Broken Dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. Yeah, so this is again this personal power that you seem to be taking back, and that you seem to be stepping into much more fully, and focusing on your dreams. Again, you know, making peace with the things that you have maybe let go of, or that you didn't choose to pursue, and giving life to those dreams that you want to pursue, you know, that you still want to go after, and making space for them, making time for them, setting those as your priority. But also, you know, as I said, oh, actually, I think I just said that, right? Making peace with the things that you let go of. Sorry, I don't know where I'm at. The other card that you got is Confusion. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. So yeah, it feels like, you know, this time that you are in right now, it could be confusing, and it could be difficult to, you know, go through all of these different emotions that could be cropping up as you get to these realizations, and as you understand everything that has happened, and again see your own part that you have played in these dynamics. But again, I feel like as you shine light on them, right, with the lantern, I love that we're getting the lantern, because it's taking me back to the lantern of the hermit. as you are, you know, honing in on that light, on that energy, on finding that realization within yourself, or getting to that place where you see things clearly, when you shine light on all of the shadows, that is where you truly find empowerment. That is where you can take your power back and, you know, again, step into the driver's seat of your life. And at the bottom of the deck, we have renewal. Regeneration begins with decay. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck because it is just so potent, right? Because it reminds us that if we want to have something new and if we want to build the life of our dreams, we have to make space for it, and we have to let go of the things that are ultimately cluttering our lives, right? So yeah, this is some powerful stuff, and you are renewing, right? That's the main thing here. So, oh my goodness, pile number 1. Wow, you are in such a powerful place. Even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it right now, you truly, truly are. And I commend you for all of the work that you are doing, and you should be really proud of yourself. And I feel like with all of the messages that we saw here, you're going to start seeing the results and all of your hard work paying off very soon. But anyway, thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me. Please leave me a little monkey emoji down in the comment section if you have made it all the way through to this point. I would love to see you and connect with you in the comment section. That would mean so much to me. But as always, take care of yourselves. I hope to see you back here next Friday for some more messages, and take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 2. My name is Helen, and I am so excited that you are here with me watching this reading right now. So thank you so much for being here. But let's get straight to the cards. So we have some pre-prepared oracle cards, which we are going to look at in just a sec, because first I want to see what I am feeling intuitively from this card. So you chose this cherry card. And what I'm feeling here, pile number 2, is that you seem to be in a bit of a busy beaver state right now. It feels like you are full of energy, full of zest, trying to do as much as you possibly can. You seem to be getting things crossed out from your to-do list. You seem to be creating schedules or organizing your day-to-day. It feels like you're just very on top of things and full of this productive energy where, you know, if you have been in this more latent or in this more laid back, chill, lax energy before, you know, as if you are in the northern hemisphere, as we have come out of winter and into this springtime energy, and we're now moving towards summer, it feels like your energy is very much in alignment with the seasons, and it seems to be picking up speed. So you have come out of this more hermit mode energy, and you are now like gearing up and making more things happen, initiating more things as well. Everything that has been left to the side or that has been on the back burner, you seem to be addressing a lot of things right now, and you seem to be, again, setting order to things or taking charge of things, really stepping into this powerhouse energy and trying to set yourself up for success is what I feel here, pile 2. I'm also getting a message of waiting for certain results or waiting for certain rewards to come in, things that you have planted seeds for quite a while ago, maybe even last year. And now it seems like you are preparing for certain things to finally come around or come about. So there is this notion of being expectant as well that I'm getting from this cherry card. But anyway, this is just the intuitive part. So it's just the initial messages coming through. We are going to get a lot, hopefully, a lot more information with these oracle cards, as we are going to look at the current situation that you are in, the current energy that you are dealing with. Hopefully you'll be able to recognize yourself much more easily from these cards. We have the buffalo coming out first. We also have Oh, I don't break that easy, not anymore. Instead, I use things as fuel. The Alchemist, Empowerment, Pain, Sorceress. We have Woman. We have, Darling, don't you remember you're a badass? Keep winging it. The Fairy, Blessings, Flow, Magical Energy. And the Bell. Okay. Pile number 2, I have to say, I am loving this energy because this just seems to be so full of empowerment that I am absolutely loving it. We have the Buffalo coming out first, and this is making me think of loyalty and dedication. This is giving me heavy Taurus vibes. I mean, I don't know. I can't look past the Taurian energy and the tie to the Taurian energy. So this feels like it's talking about your true strength of spirit and how you are able to put your head down and do the work and do the heavy lifting and just get down to it without any complaints and any drudgery or, you know, dragging your feet and doing all of that, you know, making things more hard for yourself. You don't seem to be doing that. You seem to be very much in this headspace of, okay, these things need to get done, so I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to focus on what the best way would be to go about doing those things. So it feels like you are, again, creating these systems, creating these schedules or to-do lists, or you seem to be handling things beautifully, organizing them and making sure that things are sort of running smoothly so that you could have the easiest time doing what needs to be done. You know, it's like you're making your life easier, not harder. And a lot of it has to do with your attitude and the way that you are handling things. Also, the reason why I say that is because of this Alchemist card. Even if things are difficult at times, even if you do get tired, even if some of the things are boring, some of the things are just, you know, sucking the life out of you, some of these responsibilities that you have or some of these things that you have promised to do, but maybe that you don't necessarily feel like doing, all of these things, right? All of these challenges and the annoyances that we have to deal with in life, you seem to be having this mindset that instead of letting those things slow you down or bring you to a halt, you are actually using those to keep yourself going, to remind yourself why you are doing these things, or what is the end goal, what is the dream, right? What are you trying to get out of it? Where are you trying to arrive at? What is worth pushing through all of those uncomfortable or challenging or infuriating parts? And I feel like especially if you have experienced someone letting you down, you know, if you have had an agreement with someone, or if there was a contract or some sort of promise made that someone was supposed to help you with something or work with you on something, and they kind of bailed on you, or they left you to just handle the mess all on your own, I feel like instead of like ruminating on it and getting stuck in it and feeling victimized by it, you seem to have actually gotten more power out of it, or more drive, more motivation to just like show that person and to show the world how capable you are and what you are capable of doing all on your own, right? So it's this weirdly super pumped up or empowered place that you seem to be in. And I also feel like even all of the things that again, that you didn't feel like doing, or that you didn't have the energy for in the past, right? As we were talking about all of this like wintry state and all of the more lax and chilled out or more stagnant or slow energy that you maybe were before, maybe that you were maybe in before, I feel like now, instead of looking at that time and like beating yourself up over it, I feel like you are instead realizing just how in tune you are with the seasons. And I feel like you are respecting that, and you are honoring that, and you are honoring yourself as well, especially because we have this Woman card here, which is actually like a significator card in Lenormand. But this is talking about just feminine energy, and it doesn't imply that you have to be female in order for this card to resonate. This is simply talking about feminine energy, which everyone has regardless of gender. This just seems to indicate that you are very much in tune with yourself, with your feelings, with your body. You seem to be very much in control of your mindset as well, with your thought space. So this just feels like you are in touch with you. You are in your personal power at this time, and you are making choices and taking action from that space, which is like leading you exactly where you want to be. Because we also have this fairy energy with blessings, flow, and magical energy. And that is what is telling me that you are very much in a flow state right now, where you seem to be operating in full power. And that is also one of the reasons why I feel like things are working out for you in a very beautiful way. Also, we have the bell here. And with both of these two cards together, as I said, it definitely feels that for some of you at least, if it doesn't resonate for all of you, there is some sort of manifestation that you are waiting on, something that you are waiting to arrive with the bell. It feels like you have been calling something in. So that is just the confirmation for this potentially more a specific message. But I also feel with the bell and the woman cards together that this seems to hint at you being very confident in your self-expression and in what you are putting out there in the world, how you are voicing yourself and how that is resonating with other people. So it almost feels like you are calling in the sort of the right people and energies, the right attention, because of being aligned with some sort of deeper truth. And because you are in this like highly vibrational, magnetizing energy right now. And this feminine energy that is coming through here is reflective of being in this magnetizing, attractive state as well, because you know, the feminine energy receives and attracts, whereas the masculine energy initiates and takes action, right? So it's not this chasing or going after energy that you are in. It seems to be something that you are just sort of pulling in with your energy, with, again, with your mindset, with how you are seeing things, what you are putting your energy into, everything that you are doing. It just feels super aligned and like this beautifully motivated space that you are in right now. So I am absolutely loving it, as I already said. But if you can resonate with this story, then stay tuned for the tarot card portion, because now we are getting to the juicy bits. So let's first look at what it is that you are uprooting. So what sort of long overdue things are you letting go of or getting rid of? Okay, interesting. So we have the Hanged Man, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and we have the Four of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles as the underlying energy here. So I'm going to point out some of the zodiac signs in case you resonate with them. We have some Pisces coming through with the Hanged Man. We have some Pisces again with the Wheel of Fortune, but Sagittarius could also be significant. We have Aries with the Four of Wands, and we have some Earth sign energy with the Ace of Pentacles. So Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn could also be significant. So I'm getting two messages here, pile number 2, about what it is that you are uprooting. One of those is more specific and the other one is much more sort of general. So I'm going to start with the more specific message because I'm not sure how many of you will resonate with that one. So let's get through that more quickly. So with the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Four of Wands, the more specific message of what you are uprooting here is putting your life on hold for the misfortunes of your family or for the sort of the people that you are surrounded by, focusing on their dramas or their difficulties or their issues or whatever, and possibly, you know, making certain sacrifices because of that, or being forced to make certain sacrifices or give something up of yourself for the benefit of someone else around you. Especially with the Four of Wands, I am getting a family dynamic or siblings, your parents, your spouse, or your significant other or something like that. It feels more of a familial connection here. But it can also talk about like a grander community. So, you know, if this is talking about your workspace, or if this is talking about your friendship group or something like that, even though I'm not really feeling that too much, if I'm honest. Yeah, this is you putting your life on hold for other people. So for those of you who resonate with this, that is definitely something that you seem to be uprooting here. Now, the more generic or the more broad thing that I'm feeling here is that you seem to be coming out of a state of waiting around for the external energies or the external circumstances and conditions to turn in your favor before taking action to create something that you want to have, before going after something that would bring you joy, that would make you feel a sense of accomplishment, or that would even allow you to enjoy life and feel good about where you are and what you are doing and what you have achieved. Because with both of these two major arcana cards, this feels like major stagnation to me. Just waiting around, just waiting for things to become quote unquote right, or some sort of conditions to become favorable, especially with the underlying energy being the Ace of Coins here too. This feels like maybe previously you have been waiting for something very concrete to manifest before you took any action, or before you allowed yourself to have anything, or whatever it is specifically. The Ace of Coins is saying that there was this expectation to have something materialize or to have something physical before creating this or going after this Four of Wands energy of, leveling up or stepping up or bringing more celebration and enjoyment and this lighthearted energy into your life, but also just going after things that would bring you this sense of like foundation or security or happiness and freedom. So I love seeing that for you, pile number 2, because again, this is you taking back your power. This is you not waiting around for things to be just right or for things to be handed to you. This is you making your dream life come true for yourself. And I'm also getting the message, again, this may be more of a specific one, but for those of you who have had a certain narrative about yourself as a result of the past that you have gone through, especially as you were growing up, or the way that your parents raised you or didn't raise you, all of the misfortunes or the sort of the lack that you experienced as you were growing up, all of the beliefs that has instilled in you regarding what you are capable of having or what you are capable of accomplishing in your life, that seems to be something that you are uprooting as well. Because all of these limitations that you have believed about yourself, they seem to be untrue. So yeah, anyway, but that is the uprooting part. Let's look at what is it that you are creating as this new fresh beginning. So yeah, what sort of new start are you creating for yourself? Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Six of Swords and the Two of Swords, as well as Temperance coming out in reverse as the underlying energy. So again, some signs, we have more earth sign energy with the Page of Pentacles. So again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have the Six of Swords, which is Aquarius. We have the Two of Swords, which is Libra. And we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius. So first off, I want to start off with these two cards because it feels like you are changing how you see things, the way that your mind works and what you think is real and what you think is true. We have the Six of Swords and the Two of Swords here, and it feels like you are actually starting to be a lot more protective of your headspace and your mindset. It feels like you are cutting out a lot of certain distractions, because with the Page of Pentacles in reverse here, this is feeling a lack of focus and possibly being pulled in all of these different directions and not really knowing what to focus on or what to rely on. So this feels kind of untethered. and not having a lot of security. But as we have the Six of Swords here, you are moving away from that. And this Page of Pentacles in reverse for some reason feels like it's talking about other people's energy. So other people distracting you, or other people feeding you information that somehow serves their own interest or their own purposes, but that don't really have that much to do with you and your truth and what you are trying to do. So yeah, this distracted energy, that is something that you are moving away from, and where you are getting a lot more protective, right? This feels like it's talking about you moving to a place where you are closing yourself off to, like, again, other people's chit chat that really doesn't, that is just like either taken away from you or that is veering you off course. And I love that we're getting the Six and the Two of Swords together like this, because in between these two cards we have the energy of the Four of Swords, which is ultimate peace. It's peace of mind. It's having this calm sense of being, where your minds are not racing 1,000 miles an hour, and where you can just be, and where you can just sort of rest and recuperate without being overloaded by other people's demands or even just conflicting thoughts. So that is what you seem to be creating for yourself, a lot more quiet in your sort of mind or in your headspace, and moving away from this lack of focus or this sense of like feeling ungrounded or unstable. Because with the Two of Swords, I am feeling like you are creating this stability for yourself, even as things could be quite unstable around you. We have this Temperance that is coming out in reverse at the bottom of the deck, which does indicate that there could be certain like imbalances or certain extremes that are happening around you. But it feels like it doesn't actually have that much sway over you, or that it doesn't affect you as much, because again, regardless of like what is happening outside of you, and especially when it comes to things that you cannot control, you seem to be like almost zoning them out or tuning them out with the Two of Swords here, and just staying on task, staying on what it is that you know that you can control, and where it is that you ultimately want to get to with this Six of Swords, making moves, taking these baby steps one step at a time to get to this place that would bring you this sense of satisfaction. So let's look at the final question too and see what sort of opportunities can this fresh start bring your way, or what sort of doors can open up as a result of you bringing about this change. Okay. Oh, I love this. We have the Eight of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse, and we have the Six of Wands with the Six of Pentacles in reverse coming out at the bottom of the deck. So we have all fire energy coming through here. We have basically all fire signs. So we have Sagittarius, we have Aries, and we have Leo. And at the bottom of the deck, we have some Taurian energy. So I'm feeling maybe more of a specific message. I'm not sure, but I feel like there could be someone in a position of power, this Queen of Wands in reverse, as well as the Six of Pentacles in reverse, that isn't actually acting in the best interest of the collective or the people that they are in charge of. Because there definitely seems to be someone who is in charge of power here, whether this is like a person who is in a managerial position at your workplace, whether this is someone in your family dynamic who is kind of wearing the pants in the relationship, or whoever this is actually talking about. They seem to have some sort of sway, or they seem to hold power. And this feels like you are almost like pushing them out of that position and taking that position of authority yourself and doing it much more effectively with the Six of Wands here at the end, where you are going to be like celebrated for taking over that position, or taking the reins and actually writing the dynamic or the way that things have been. Sorry, it isn't focusing. So anyway, that is more of a specific message potentially that I'm feeling. So for some of you, there is definitely an opportunity to step up into a position of authority or a leadership position and right some wrongs that someone else has done, or just set things right. But coming back to the more general sort of energy here, with the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Wands in reverse, it feels like you are getting rid of or moving past certain insecurities that maybe you have had, or that have kept you playing smaller than maybe you could, So this Eight of Wands is almost like you getting over something, or surpassing certain things that you have been feeling internally with this Queen of Wands in reverse, and, stepping into the limelight, essentially, with the Six of Wands. So actually, taking a position where you are seen, or stepping into a truly powerful position and placing yourself in more of these situations where you can be seen, where you can be recognized, where you can be celebrated, allowing people to actually see what it is that you're doing and shining fully in that, because the things that you seem to be doing now, those seem to be much more like, how should I say, hidden, or they are not as public, and a lot of the things that you could be doing are also like internal, so you could be working through a lot of things internally, but this is you taking up more space and starting to do things more like publicly, and where people are able to see you more and actually, again, celebrate more what it is that you do, because we're dealing with all fire sign energy here. So this is pure action and drive, and just this passion and fire, right? At the bottom of the deck with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, this just seems to talk about certain imbalances or injustices that you are righting. So again, whether this is some of the choices that you have made in the past, where you have the opportunity to correct those in the future, or whether this is like someone else's mishaps, or things where they have not been the most fair or right. It feels like you have the opportunity to correct those as well. So anyway, all in all, this feels like you are bringing in even more empowerment for yourself in the future, as you are embodying this fearless and aligned version of you, and staying in your truth, staying in your authenticity, and just sort of being in this flow state, taking action, showing up, and manifesting the sort of life that you want to manifest. This is really, really powerful. But let's close the reading out with a last supportive message from Spirit. So let's see what they want to tell you before we close the reading. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay. Again, we're getting two cards. I was planning to get only one card, but we are getting two. So the first card out is Radical Honesty. To believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. Yeah, so this is you essentially being unapologetically yourself, and not being afraid to express what you feel you want to say, or what needs to be said, even if it is controversial, even if it is potentially going to ruffle some feathers. I feel like Spirit is urging you to not shy away from that, and to honor your truth. Yeah. The other card that you have is Melting Mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you'll fulfill. So we're kind of getting the same message here. At least that's how it feels like to me. Of this authenticity and, again, this radical honesty, right? Just saying what needs to be said, and sharing your truth unapologetically. And let's see what is at the bottom of the deck. At the bottom of the deck, we have Lantern. Consciousness is light. So, yeah, and I feel like you are really conscious of yourself, and you are getting even more conscious as you are working through everything that you are doing, and all of these past seasons that you have gone through as well. So I feel like you are in a very, very strong position, pile number 2, and you seem to be solidifying that position for yourself even more as you are chasing these dreams, as you are calling in these dreams, because you are doing the work and you are taking action, but it doesn't seem like you are desperately, chasing anything. So that was not the best word to use. But yeah, very magical energy, pile number 2. And I'm so thrilled that you are in this place. If this was your reading, if you resonate with this, I'm so, so happy for you. And by the way, if you are still here, leave me a fairy emoji down in the comment section so that I could connect with you in the comment section and see who you are. I love doing that, and I love seeing all of you who are here watching these readings all the way through. So it would mean so much to me. Anyway, I'm not going to keep you. Thank you so much, and I hope that this reading was useful, insightful, or at the very least entertaining. And I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insights, and fun. But take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen, and I am so, so happy that you're here spending this time with me and watching this reading. So thank you for your presence. But let's get into it. So we have some pre-prepared oracle cards, which we're going to look at in just a bit, because I want to see what I'm picking up on this card intuitively first. And you chose this peacock card. And the energy that is coming off of this card is one of feeling charged up for some reason. That's what I'm feeling. It almost feels like someone has done you dirty in some sense, or someone has treated you unfairly, or let's just say that someone hasn't been the nicest to you. And it feels like now you are in this place where you are trying to almost show them what they are missing out on, or how they have underestimated you, or how much is like truly hidden in you, what you are capable of, and everything that you have to give and everything that you have to offer. This feels like it's it's almost like there is this undercurrent of slight anger. Yeah, just feeling fed up, or feeling frustrated, or as I said, charged up, and wanting to set the record straight, or wanting to like show everyone, or show this person, or show these people who they were messing with. And it does have a slight tinge of like revenge vibes to it, but I don't feel like it's malicious, or like it's this low vibrational sense of, oh, I want to make you miserable, or oh, I want to get back at you. This just feels like wanting to show someone up in order to, like, I don't know, prove to yourself and prove to others how these other people or this person were wrong about you. So it almost feels like it's coming much more from the space of needing to reestablish your sense of self-worth and do something so that you could start feeling that sense of like confidence and self-love and self-respect and all of these things again. So it seems to be coming from you. And that's why I'm saying that I don't feel like it is inherently this low vibrational revenge type energy here, because the ultimate intention behind it is so that you could like build your confidence up again after having received this blow or this slight that you have experienced. So yeah, I don't know why it's coming through so specifically. It feels like it's quite a specific energy here. So if you don't resonate with that at all, then it may not be your reading, but we do have some pre-prepared oracle cards, as I already said. And we are going to look at what is your current energy, what sort of situation you are currently dealing with. So hopefully, as we get these cards out and you hear more about this situation that you are supposed to be in, it will be a lot easier for you to decipher whether this is actually your pile or not. So let's see. We have the rainbow. We have I am in divine flow and move in alignment, yin and yang, unity, balanced energy, manifestation. mirror, just let me be, liberation, free spirit, wild, authentic, and the goat. So pile number 3, starting off with the rainbow, it definitely seems like this is talking about restoring of hope or faith after a trying time. Because, sorry, I don't know why is it so dark in here? Okay, anyway, so the rainbow seems like it's hinting at having gone through certain difficult times or trying times, and now that the storm has passed, you are starting to come back to life in a way. You're starting to rearrange things in a way that would bring more hope and more lightness and more joy to your life again. So it definitely feels like you were working through some things and you are now kind of on the other side of it, but it has something to do with you and someone else, because this yin and yang energy is here, which talks about unity, balanced energy, manifestation. So in a way, this balanced energy seems to be talking about you trying to get yourself back to this equilibrium and get yourself back to this balanced state within yourself. But also, this feels like it's hinting at these trying times having been between you and someone else. So as I said, this feels very specific in nature. And these two cards seem to hint at that sort of relationship dynamic being at play here too. And remember, right, we don't only have romantic relationships when we talk about relationships. So this can be any sort of relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic in the slightest. So I'll let you put the details in place, exactly what sort of relationship or what sort of dynamic this is talking about, where this slight or this rejection or this offense happened. But it definitely feels like that is what you are dealing with right now as you are getting yourself back to this place of equilibrium. We also have this mirror card. So some of you could be dealing with certain introspection and trying to, look into yourself and trying to make sense of what you are really feeling and whether there was any truth or reality behind what this person said or indicated, or why they decided to act in the way that they did, or why this rejection or whatever this situation was, why it happened. But this mirror card also seems to talk about you coming to terms with like who you really are, right? Like seeing yourself clearly without the input or without the energy of what was said to you, or the effect of the fallout that you experienced. So this seems to be the focus for you right now to like set the record straight. And that could also be why this mirror card is here, as you are trying to show the truth to people and reveal your true self as you see yourself, what is truly hiding within you or truly lying beneath. We also have this liberation, free spirit, wild, authentic, and the goat, which is funnily enough talking about this intense, deep passion and drive and fire. So these two cards hint at you being in the state of wanting to set yourself free, wanting to live out your deeper desires or this deeper fire within you. And I feel like also this goat is tied to this ambition within you, or this passion to prove people wrong, or to show everyone and to show yourself what truly is within you, right? This true self that maybe people didn't see or that they didn't acknowledge. And setting yourself free, setting yourself loose is even what I want to say here. But I also feel, that it's kind of funny that we are getting the goat card here, because it is reminding me of the devil card in tarot, if you are familiar with tarot cards. So for some of you, this could be talking about this deep obsession or this overpowering energy to, show people and show everyone how wrong they were about you. you know? So it almost can veer off to the extreme where you almost get this tunnel vision. And that's like all that you are consumed by, you know, that it gets too big, you know, in your head and in your reality. But I feel like it's not really that big of a deal for a lot of you. It just seems to indicate that there is this drive within you to really express yourself as you truly are. Yeah, so if you recognize this story, if this sounded like what you are dealing with right now, then stay tuned, because we're getting to the interesting parts now with the tarot cards. And we're first going to see what it is that you are uprooting. So what sort of old system or something that has been in place in your life for a long time, what is it that you are getting rid of? Okay, so I decided to use the card that flew out but that didn't turn over as the underlying energy. I don't know, it was kind of intuitive and what is it? Like a reflex. So I don't know, maybe that's what was supposed to happen. So the cards that you got, and you got more cards than I was intending to get. We have the Six of Cups, we have the Four of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Death card as the underlying energy. So to point out some of the signs coming through here, in case you recognize them around you or you resonate with them yourself, we have some heavy Aries coming through with the Queen of Wands, and we have heavy Scorpio with the Death card. But we also have Aries actually more with the Four of Wands, and we have even more Scorpio with the Six of Cups. So Aries and Scorpio coming through very, very heavily here. But with the Page of Swords, we also have Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So with these two cards coming out first, it feels like what you are uprooting is playing small or keeping yourself small. Because with the Six of Cups, this is all about the sort of the old and the safe way of doing things, how things have always been, or what is very familiar to you, what is very safe for you. Usually, especially when it comes out with the Four of Wands here, it hints at certain dynamics or certain habits that have been instilled within you since you were a child, or that have been with you for forever, basically. So there are certain roots that are going back to your early childhood or your upbringing or your family dynamics. And that is essentially what you seem to be uprooting here, as you are getting rid of things that force you to play it safe, that force you to stay small, that force you to stay in the shadows, and that make you kind of invisible or blend in the shadows and not really show up in a very loud or noticeable way. Because the Six of Cups is making me feel like a mild sort of energy. Like there's this mildness to it, like trying to stay as vanilla as possible, you know, so that you wouldn't ruffle any feathers and that you wouldn't step on any toes or that you wouldn't upset anyone. Maybe there is this, maybe there is a people-pleasing sort of thing, or this good girl or good boy sort of behavior that, you know, you were taught to be in from when you were growing up. But it doesn't seem to serve you. And so that is something that you seem to be uprooting here. Also with the two of, sorry, not the two. I was looking at the two over here. With the Page of Swords and the Queen of Wands in reverse, I feel like you are not going to be censoring yourself anymore, because for some reason, these two cards together make me feel of like holding yourself back or being very restrictive or very careful with what it is that you say. But mainly it's about like holding your tongue or not really expressing what you feel on the inside, or you know what the ultimate truth is. Because again, with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it feels like you are pushing some of these emotions or these more strong feelings down in order not to cause any friction or conflict or drama or anything like that. So being very, very careful with what it is that you say, that seems to be something that you are also uprooting to a point, because, you know, it's not saying that you are now going to express yourself without any sort of filter, that you're just going to spew out anything that comes to comes to mind, but it just feels that you're going to be a lot less restrictive of yourself and being willing to share yourself unapologetically, you know, like really voicing what you feel needs to be voiced and standing up for what you believe needs to be said. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card here. So clearly, you know, this deeper sort of transformation or change is going on over here. And I feel like this change has been kind of like an ongoing process. It's something that you seem to have started quite a while ago already, and you are working through a lot of these patterns or residual tethers to your past and childhood self. And so that's a really empowering thing. But also with the Death card at the bottom of the deck here, this feels like you are actually changing the way that you handle endings in general, the way that you handle change and transformation, and how you deal with those sorts of things. Because I find it interesting that we were talking about rejection and, you know, people sort of slighting you or like letting you go or doing something like that really like obviously hurt you to some degree. But with the Death card here, it seems like there is something massively transforming about how you handle those sorts of things. So that's interesting. Or possibly even, you know, getting down in the dumps because of something that is changing or ending. Maybe that's how you used to be before, but now it seems like you are responding in a whole different sort of way. Now, let's look at what sort of new start are you creating for yourself. Whoa. You are getting so many cards. Pile number 3. So many cards. So yeah, it feels like you are in full rebel mode, because that's what seems to be coming through with these cards too. So we have the High Priestess, we have the 8 of Wands, we have the Page of Cups now, and we have the Moon, which you can't even see because there are so many cards here. Hang on. Let me scoop those up a bit so that the cards would all be in the frame. So we have the High Priestess, which is Cancer or Pisces, more so Cancer energy, to be fair. We also have the 8 of Wands, which is Sagittarius. We have the Page of Cups, which is just water sign energy in general, so Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And we have the Moon with more Pisces. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Swords in reverse, which is Libran energy. Yeah, see, I feel like you are actually starting to break out of this like quiet place, because I'm going to start off with the underlying energy. The 4 of Swords in reverse is making me feel that you are coming out of this restful, recuperative, quiet place, and you are starting to take action again. So especially when it comes to the High Priestess and the 8 of Wands here, it feels like, you know, instead of just mulling over what it is that you are feeling on the inside and keeping quiet, you seem to be actually, you know, taking action. You seem to be putting things into action that you feel inherently deeply within you, that you feel to be true, or that you feel you are meant to do. So the High Priestess is very much tied to this deeply spiritual place within ourselves that is also tied to a certain level of truth that is inherently within us. And that deeper truth is very often expressed through our intuition. You know, that deeper wisdom speaks to us through our intuition, through our gut instincts, through our sort of premonitions, or this like sixth sense that all of us have. You know, whether you listen to it or you don't, that is a whole different thing, but everyone has it. And you seem to be starting to listen to it a lot more and actually, you know, putting into action what it is that you feel is the right thing to do. So it feels like you are not going to, you know, stay quiet anymore. You are definitely not going to be censoring yourself anymore. You seem to be expressing yourself with full force and a lot of inner power and a lot of inner conviction, because it's coming from a deeply resonant place within you with the High Priestess. It's coming from the truth and the depth of you. So there's some sort of deeper wisdom to what it is that you are expressing. And I feel like it's going to start landing differently as a result as well. I also feel like with the Page of Cups being here that you are starting to express what it is that you want. So, and also like showing up in a much more vulnerable way, but that is not to be taken as a sign of weakness, because being vulnerable is actually a position of power, because it shows that you are not afraid to be laid bare to other people, and other people's reactions have no sway over you, right? Like the power lies within you, and only you can control how much anyone has the opportunity to hurt you. And with the moon, it just feels like you are starting to be willing to take more risks when it comes to experiencing certain things that you don't necessarily have control over, or putting yourself in unfamiliar situations or new situations. But I'm not talking about taking like stupid, uncalculated risks. I'm talking about trusting yourself in times when you don't have all of the information, where you have to rely on your intuition a bit, where you have to rely on your other senses to make decisions or to find out what is true for you, and also not playing it safe, right? Because again, that is the energy that was coming through from the energy that you are leaving behind or that you are uprooting now. With the moon, it definitely feels like that is something that you are not really doing anymore, because the moon is indicating that you are ready to step into the unknown. You are ready to put yourself in a position where you can rely on yourself, and where you can rely on the universe to show you the way and lead you where you need to go, even if, you know, it doesn't all make sense on a rational level, even if you can't like plan for it wholly. But I also feel like this moon is talking about revealing certain hidden layers within you. Because of the Page of Cups here too, and the Eight of Wands, which both of these cards together can talk about communication or self-expression and really opening yourself up. So that seems to be the place where you start operating from more and more, as you allow people to see the real you, as you are revealing these deeper layers within you, again, without being afraid of how people are going to react. And I also feel like there is something about overcoming your fears, or not allowing your fears to hold you back, maybe even expressing your fears much more forthrightly or much more openly. You know, it again ties back to this sense of vulnerability, or being unafraid to be vulnerable and being unafraid to show up as the real you, and hence overcoming certain deep-seated fears and building up a lot more resilience and a lot more courage as a result of it. So there seems to be this chain reaction sort of thing here. But let's look at the final answer, or the final question too, which is what sort of opportunities are going to be opening up for you as a result of this fresh new start that you are creating for yourself? So what kind of doors can open up for you in the future? Okay, so we have the Six of Coins in reverse, we have Strength, and we have the King of Cups with the Seven of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So again, sign-wise, we have Taurus with the Six of Coins, we have Leo with Strength and the Seven of Wands, and we have Scorpio with the King of Cups. I really feel like this is talking about you being very much in a position of power, in a way that you are going to have the opportunity to reject other things and other people now that don't really align with where you are going and who you are becoming as a person. Because with the Six of Coins in reverse, it feels like there is going to be a mismatch of energy, or some sort of imbalance when it comes to possibly some of the people that are around you, or some of the situations or circumstances that you are surrounded by. And with Strength and the King of Cups, it feels like this is talking about you stepping fully into this position where you are drawing certain boundaries, where you are establishing your worth, or where you are establishing what you will and will not accept into your life. And I also feel like, you know, you could be deciding to get rid of certain things that again feel like you have outgrown, or that just are not supposed to come with you into your future that you are building. But also, if there are any sort of opportunities or any offers coming your way that feel very one-sided, or that feel built on inauthenticity, then with this Strength and King of Cups, it almost feels like there is this ruthless dedication to your inner truth and to your values, where you're not even going to entertain those things. So as a result of that, it seems like you are keeping your space pure for the truly aligned things, and where you are able to say no to certain temptations possibly, and keep yourself super high vibrational. And I also feel like you are slowly but surely going more and more to this place where, regardless of like how other people may be acting to try to like tear you down, especially with the Seven of Wands here, or to try and get to you or undermine you somehow, it feels like it's not going to work. These external things and forces are not going to have that much power over you anymore. They're not going to be able to like topple you or get under your skin because of this King of Cups and Strength. So it's like you are building yourself up to this place where these external things cannot touch you. They cannot sway you. You know, there is this core within you, or this seat of power that you are in within yourself. So that regardless of what anyone else says around you, or how anyone else may try to portray you as, or how they may try to bring you down or whatever, they are not going to be able to do that effectively, because it's not going to resonate with you, you know? You are still going to know and feel your worth inherently without those words or actions touching you on a personal level. So yeah, pile number 3, really great stuff. And I mean, especially in the sense that you are transforming in a very powerful way. And I love that you are taking your power back from these like other people, or from the things that like used to get to you. So I absolutely love that for you. But let's close the reading out with a last message from Spirit. So this is just going to be a supportive message from Spirit, what they want you to know before we close this reading out. Whoa. Okay. So we have radical curiosity, seeing as if for the first time, every time. Yeah, so this just feels like it's talking about bringing yourself back to this childlike, enthusiastic, innocent energy where you are not brought down by the world and by your experiences, where you still have that innocent, pure sense of joy and wonder. And I feel like that's what Spirit really wants you to hold on to here. We also have circles. Clarity begins in the eye of the storm. Wow. This over here is Spirit's way of saying that as you are in it, as you are in that like turmoil, that's where your true sense of understanding really comes from. Like going through something, experiencing something that truly touches you or moves you, or even like shakes you up, right? Because storms are never pleasant to go through. They always have this disturbance to them, right? They shake things up, but for a very good reason. And so I feel like you are being encouraged here to look at the truth of the matter that you are seeing, and all of the realizations that you are making as a result of going through these situations, right? Where people have treated you in this way, or where you have learned so much about your own capabilities, but also other people's true natures. So that is value in and of itself as well, because even if it hurts in the process, ultimately the true gift here is that you are not wasting your time, or you're not wasting your precious energy, your valuable space, right? The space that you hold in your life. You're not wasting that, and you are not carrying that those people with you into the future to waste even more of your space or time or energy or resources on them. The people that aren't truly, you know, who you thought they were. And at the bottom of the deck, we have emotional energy. Emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. So yeah, I just feel like this is, again, one of the reminders to see the purpose in even the most difficult emotions, even though they are not obviously pleasant to go through, but they alert us to something and they teach us something. So yeah, this is it, pile number 3. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you had fun watching it, or that it at the very least spoke to you in some sort of way. And if that's the case, if you're still here, by the way, then leave me a rainbow in the comment section, so that I know that you watched this thing, that you made it all the way through, and that that this spoke to you. I would love to see you in the comment section. I would love to connect with you, and it always means so much to me when I see you watching these readings all the way through. So thank you so much. As always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages and fun. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and be good.